To be alive, yet exiled from life itself. This was the reality for 10 men stranded on the borderlands between Samaria and Galilee. Their shared disease made them outcasts, a brotherhood of the broken. As Jesus approached their village, they held their distance, as the law required. But from across a dusty expanse, a single, desperate cry tore through the silence. "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." It was more than a plea for healing. It was a plea for restoration, a plea to live again. Their cry was an act of audacious faith. In a world that labeled them unclean, they saw a master. They asked not for coin, but for compassion. And this chorus of despair, rising from men who should have been enemies, Jews and a Samaritan, united in their suffering, reached Jesus. He looked past the disease and saw the men. His response was not what they expected. No dramatic gesture, no instant miracle. Instead, a simple, almost illogical command, a challenge demanding their complete trust. He told them, "Go, show yourselves to the priests." According to the law, this was the final step. A priest could declare a leper clean, but only after the healing had occurred. Jesus was asking them to act on a cure they had not yet received, to begin the journey home while still broken. Their obedience then would become the very vessel for their miracle. They turned, 10 men, bound by a fragile shared hope, and began to walk. What would happen on that road, with only a promise to guide them? As they walked, hope met obedience, and then it began. A tingling sensation, a spreading warmth. Scarred skin grew smooth, feeling returned to lifeless fingers and toes. The miracle didn't happen in a flash of light. It unfolded quietly, step by step, on a dusty road. As they simply moved forward in faith, their cry for mercy was answered. 9 men, their minds already home with family, quickened their pace toward the priests, toward their future. But one of them, the Samaritan, stopped. He stood alone on that road, the sun warming his new skin, and stared at his own hands, whole, clean, for the first time in memory. And he made a choice. He turned around. His journey was no longer toward official acceptance, but toward the very source of his restoration. He fell at the feet of Jesus, his voice overflowing with praise. It was a raw, unfiltered response to grace. But Jesus looked beyond the grateful man and asked a question that still echoes today. Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? His words hung in the air, a quiet indictment of forgotten gratitude, a question of what separates a gift from a mere transaction. The 9 received a cure, but this one man received something more. Jesus told him, "Rise and go. Your faith has made you well." This was a different kind of healing, a wholeness that touched the soul, born not just from the miracle, but from the gratitude that followed. The 9 sought validation from the law. The Samaritan sought communion with the lawgiver. Their journey would restore them to society, but in their haste, what deeper healing did they miss by not turning back?